The waiter laughed at the way he walked. The bar owner pointed at the door and said, "You can't sit here." 20 minutes later, everything changed. The man walked in just past 4 p.m. The bar was nearly empty, just a few tables occupied. One man shooting pool, another nursing a beer at the counter. He wore a faded coat, old brown pants, and a worn-out cap. His shoulders slouched slightly, but his steps were deliberate. Aside from a subtle limp in his left leg, he looked completely ordinary. Yet something about his walk carried a calm that came not from weakness, but from discipline built over years on his feet. The young waiter in the corner chuckled under his breath. "He walks like he just got back from war." The bar owner gave a side glance. The old man approached a stool but paused before sitting. He didn't look at the waiter or the menu. He just stood by the bar in silence. "Hey," the owner called out, "you can't sit here." The old man didn't turn around. He paused briefly, dipped his head slightly, then turned and walked toward the door. He said nothing. As he left, the air in the bar seemed to lift. The young waiter laughed louder. "Creepy, quiet old guy. Weird ones always show up late." The echo of that laugh didn't last more than 20 minutes. Outside, a black SUV rolled up to the curb, then another, then a third. Engines stayed running. From each vehicle, men stepped out, silent, composed. They wore black t-shirts and tactical pants. No visible patches, no names. But the way they moved, the way their eyes scanned the street, these were not ordinary men. Inside, patrons began to glance out the window. The atmosphere shifted, the kind of silence that doesn't come from quiet, but from something heavier. The front door opened. The first man in had graying hair but stood tall. Behind him, 11 others entered in sync, like they had trained for this moment. They didn't speak. The bar owner straightened up. Can I help you guys with something?" No one replied. The man in front walked slowly to the bar, reached into his pocket, and placed something gently on the counter. A scorched piece of fabric, an American flag patch, frayed, burned around the edges. He said, "This fell from the man you turned away." The owner blinked. "Who?" "His name is Samuel Dean, retired Special Operations, SEAL Team 2, Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan, countless missions, most never documented." The young waiter whispered, "That was him?" The SEAL leader turned toward him. "You laughed." The waiter looked down. The man continued, "Samuel doesn't speak because his missions weren't to be spoken of. He doesn't expect thanks, but he deserves respect. Today, he was denied that. That's why we came." The bar owner raised his hands. "Look, we didn't know who he was. It was just a leader step closer. You could have asked. No threats, no demands, just truth." Then, in perfect unison, all 12 men turned and walked out the door. Inside, no one said a word. The SEAL's exit wasn't a protest, it was a lesson. That evening, a photo went viral. 3 black SUVs, 12 men, a small-town bar in the background. The caption read, "12 ways to teach respect." The next morning, Samuel Dean returned. Same coat, same cap, same silence. The bar owner met him at the door, this time with open hands. "Please, it would be an honor if you'd sit inside." Samuel gave a small nod, walked in, sat at the far end of the bar. He didn't order. The waiter brought him coffee, black, no sugar. That day, the noise in the bar changed. Laughter turned to whispers. Glances turned to reverent nods. A new sign hung behind the counter. "Don't judge the quiet one. His voice might still be in the war." Samuel took a sip, didn't look at anyone, didn't speak, but everyone understood. Some people don't earn respect by talking. Some teach by simply being there. And sometimes, the real story begins with the man you kicked out and ends with 12 men walking in silence.